Good morning, and welcome to our Sunday morning celebration here at the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in Kingston, Jamaica. I am practitioner Jennifer Livingston, and it is a joy for me to welcome you to this sharing or love streaming service. So, wherever you are joining us this morning, here at home or abroad, we just want to welcome you. Welcome once again. And now, as we begin, as all things do here at the temple, please join me in the opening affirmative prayer. Together, let us recognize that there is only one presence, one power, one infinite intelligence that governs, guards, and guides. This presence is God, and we are one with it. And in this knowing, I speak my word for this Sunday morning celebration, knowing that every person participating within the sound of my voice is now joining us in consciousness on this pathway of light, truth, and enlightenment. So I know for each one of us as we participate in this shared experience, a very special blessing this morning. And I know for our speaker, Rev Sonia, that as she comes to us with a message of light and inspiration, that truly we are uplifted, inspired, and blessed. And so we allow ourselves to now be fully present in this moment. I give thanks and I release this word to law, knowing that all this is already so, and so it is. And now, please join me in our inspirational reading, which comes to you from Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, a practical course for successful living, and it is entitled Pray and Prosper. Prayer is communion with the universal. It reaches its highest possibility when it rises above the limitation of my existing circumstances. A belief in the invisible is the very essence of truth. Prayer or spiritual communion surrounds complete surrender. It knows that because the creative power of God is at hand, all things are possible. We cannot doubt that the Spirit has already made the gift of life. Since we live, ours is the privilege of acceptance. God is not poor, weak, sick, or unhappy. God is not impoverished, limited, or in bondage. It is the Spirit to which we pray, the reality which we approach at the center of our own being. The purpose of prayer or spiritual communion is to seek conscious union with this indwelling presence. Sometimes we arrive at a partial unity with Spirit. At other times, we completely enter into the contemplation of reality. Always, our prayer will be as effective as is the realization generated in the act of communion. Thus, our words become clothed upon which the living presence of an indivisible power, ever projecting itself into form through our meditation. So be it, and so it is. And now, please join me in our praise song, Why?
Guide us and forever holds the key.
And now, please join me in the prayer of our center. Together, the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. And now, please join me for the lighting of the candle. We'll ask Rev Sonia to light the candle. And now please join me in the blessing of all the world. Together, we love you, we appreciate you, we salute the Christ in you as we see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now, and so it is. And now we'll have our temple mission song. Temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. Yay! Thank you, friends. And now, please join me in this morning's announcements. Welcome again to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful Jamaica. If you're watching this live stream on Facebook or watching it later on our YouTube channel, we are part of the new normal. As the entire world embraces social distancing and relies on the amazing technology that enables us to stay connected. So welcome, welcome, welcome. During this special time, our offices will be open for business from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. You may drop off your prayer requests, tithes, offerings, and set appointments for practitioner assistance. Funds may also be transferred to our savings account, number 20941, at the Bank of Nova Scotia, New Kingston, in Kingston, Jamaica. Our book room continues to provide inspiring and motivational literature as we seek to keep our focus on the theme, Raising of Consciousness, for the month of April. Prayer support. Now, more than ever, we need to respond with prayer to the challenges facing all of us. please call our prayer line 876-978-1167 for a special prayer of peace and well-being. And if you wish to speak in person with one of our ministers, we have established a direct prayer line on which they will be available from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, Mondays to Fridays. The number is 876-289-0907. So please don't forget to avail yourselves of that opportunity. You can still phone in your prayer requests into our office at 876-927-6145 or 876-946-2230, or email us at templeoflight@cwjamaica.com. And be sure to join us next Sunday at 9 a.m. for another inspiring love stream. Our speaker will be practitioner Carol Campbell, so we can't wait to hear that. And above all, let us remember that love knows nothing of social distance. And although we are not able to hold hands at this time, our hearts are still linked with our brothers and sisters all across the world. This concludes the announcement, and now we will have our first hymn selection, A Golden Dawn is Breaking, with our temple singers. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning, to deliver in her usually energetic, bubbly, and exuberant self, our very own Rev Sonia Davidson. Let us see her.
Thank you, Jennifer. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to our temple and to our hearts. I am just so delighted to be able to use this medium, and we just know that it is working for us in a special way. It is a gift from the universe. My talk this morning is titled, Plant the Seed and Watch It Grow. Nature never sleeps. Therefore, I have the great privilege of sharing with you the approach to life which has meant so much to me. It is a science, a philosophy, and it is one that makes me feel so passionate. I am passionate because it has allowed me to face each day of my life with a freshness, and each challenge with a confidence and certainty of good. In doing so, I know that I'm not alone. Many of you have had and are having similar experiences with our teaching. The founder of religious science and the exponent of the philosophy of the science of mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes, hosted a weekly radio program which he introduced with these words, "There is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. A truly progressive statement for that era in which he lived, 1887 to 1960. This sums it up for me that the all-powerful, ever-present, ever-knowing, all-knowing, ever-active power we call God is available to do for us, but we must do our part. Comforting and at the same time liberating and empowering. There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it, we can use it. A power for good. What it does for me, it must do through me. What it does for you, it must do through you. What freedom it is to know that there is always a way when to human eyes there appears to be none. What a wonderful thing to remember at this special time that all the peoples of the world are experiencing together. Especially so when so much of what is going on around us appears to be outside of our control. In his talks, Dr. Holmes took great care to explain how we use this power for good. We use it, he said, when we allow it to do for us what it does through us. Yes. What Dr. Holmes was referring to is the creative process. To understand this process and to believe it is to place one's spiritual foot, so to speak, firmly on the path to freedom. We are thinking, feeling beings. The mind is never still, even when we are asleep. We are wishing, desiring, hoping, intending, anticipating, planning, regretting, all manner of thoughts. Our dominant stable thoughts take form and become our experiences. We create our experiences. The creative process is always taking place. Our persistent thoughts become the nucleus or seeds that germinate and grow to become our reactions, our emotions, our actions in the things and people we attract into our lives. What we believe we create, whether we had desired it or not. What we pay attention to takes shape and form in our lives. The ability to think deliberately, to choose the direction of our attention, to have an opinion, to change our opinion is a gift. It is the key to freedom. This is endorsed by the great New Thought exponent, minister, and author of many books, Dr. Emmett Fox, birth 1886. His words: man is a mental being. To know this is the first step on the road to freedom and prosperity. For as long as you believe yourself to be primarily physical, a superior kind of animal, you will remain in bondage. In bondage, that is to say, to your own habits of thought. For there is no other bondage. End of quote. The Master Jesus gave us a hint as to what to expect from our stable mental state. He said simply and clearly, yet definitely, it is done unto you as you believe. Belief is the key word. What is belief except an unshakable, sustained thought? Thoughts are the elements of belief. Belief that is sustained even when the things we seek are not apparent, or when they seem almost impossible. Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 17, verse 6, Jesus exhorts, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, a grain, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove. Nothing shall be impossible to you. There is nothing impossible to the power in you if you let it, he's saying. There's a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. How? You let it use you. Over and over with each healing, Jesus reminded us, according to your faith, be it unto you. In Matthew 9, verses 27-29, he said, thy faith had made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of the plague, after he had finished one of his miracles. My beloved people of the planet, dear friends, faith is what we need now more than ever as a people of the earth. The world goes through this transformative period of earth life. Prayer turns our desires into reality and hopes into certainty of faith. We must pray. We must pray individually, collectively. We must pray. We must look beneath the appearance of COVID-19 and what appears to be the pain, the fear, the worry, which it has exposed. So if we are always creating, what is the use of prayer? Why bother? Prayer turns our attention away from what appears to be and reveals that which changes not. Out of the unchangeable comes forth life, joy, peace, holiness, abundance. We must be resolute in our desire for a world of oneness and brotherhood. Any desire contains everything necessary to become the thing desired. As surely as a humble mango seed contains within it the potential for a huge mango tree. And guess what? We can't make a seed grow. That is the rule of the law of life, which gave us life and continues to express through us as mind. We can't make an idea come to pass as what we desire, but can engage with the law of life and let it work for us. There is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Everything held in consciousness must ultimately come to pass. Emmett Fox reminds us. And he continues, there can be nothing in the soul that is not demonstrated sooner or later in the outer, and there's nothing in the outer which does not have some correspondence in the inner. Unquote. Every belief strongly and resolutely held is acted upon and acted out by the nature of God, the way God works, which we call the law. The law of God is always at work, indifferent but receptive, not judging, not condemning, not praising, just being, taking our convictions and acting upon them as we give it. No adjustments, no corrections, just as you give it, so you get it. Every time, all the time. It is true that there are times when we have thought ourselves into difficulty. We are responsible, but we have an inner guide to which we turn for direction anytime. It never sleeps. Be still and know that I am. That I am, which is God. Be still. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am, which is God. The Bible is filled with so much promise, pointing the way out of any pit we may have allowed ourselves to fall into. God is law, and God is love. As the psalmist said, extolling the constancy of God's presence in our lives, from Psalm 139, verses 7 to 12. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the outermost parts of the sea, even there thou hand shall lead you, and your right hand shall hold you. We cannot depart from the presence of God. Frightened, afraid, worried, find some words to match how you want to feel. Wishing for something, but afraid to go after it? I have some advice from Dr. Tom Costa. He says, learn to live in a decisive consciousness. When you're decisive, everything comes together for your good. All people, resources, everything. Courage equals decisiveness. Know what you want, but you must be clear about what you want. Believe it is possible. Decide to let it happen now, not in the future, now. Live as though it were true. The good I am looking for finds me now without hesitation. That's an affirmation I would like to leave with you this week. The good I am looking for finds me now without hesitation. So surrender. Let mind speak into you, not merely speak you speaking into mind. Let it speak to you in the stillness. Let it speak to you. Then speak your word courageously. Then be still and listen. I am the consciousness of courageous being. Tom Costa gives us. We have the authority to marshal our own thoughts. How wonderful to know that authority is intrinsically bound up in our nature and cannot be taken from us. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, knew it. He says, God as man, in man, is man. And Craig Carter, in a textbook, The Handbook of Healing, says, the more you understand your divinity, the better you express your humanity. Wow. The more you understand about your divinity, the better you will be expressing your humanity. How wonderful to feel, to think, and to choose our thoughts. How wonderful that freedom cannot be taken from us or violated. How wonderful to know that by our choices of thoughts we are directing our own lives. How wonderful to know that by our thinking we can and are contributing to peace in our families, our community, and our country and the world. How wonderful to be blessed to know that with that responsibility, the authority is already given. How wonderful to know from whence that authority comes. Tom Costa, if you would make peace in the world, go home and love your family, he says. Charge yourself with love, with words of your own choosing. But here's an example I'm sharing with you from one of the students of our Science of Mind classes. Her name is Andrea Fraser. I am filled with the power of love, making me strong enough to move mountains. I am filled with the power of love, making me strong enough to move mountains. So friends, go home and love your family a little more. Love your friends a little more. Love the passerby a little more. Love the one which now seems unlovable. Love the peoples of the world a little more. Love and be at peace. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Sonia, for that inspiring message. There is indeed a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Thank you once again. And now, as a special treat this morning, our musical item is our very own Rev Sonia Davidson, who will be blessing us with her voice. Rev Sonia? Thank you, Reverend Sonia. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful. We thank you for that beautiful rendition. And now we will say the prayer of Jamaica. Together. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. And now, please join me in the closing affirmative prayer. So we give thanks for this experience this morning. We know that for each one of us who has participated in this Sunday morning celebration, that truly we have taken another step upon this pathway of light and truth and enlightenment. So as we go from this place, we take this consciousness of love and sharing with us. And we know that we are guided throughout this week, and that every person with whom we come into contact, that truly we are an inspiration to them and an inspiration to all. We give thanks for each other, and we give thanks for the shared experience now. And feeling the fullness of this faith, I release this word to law, giving thanks that all this is already so. And so it is. And now please join me in our peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. And now we'd like to thank you all for joining us this morning for this Sunday morning celebration. We thank you for your generous support of our ministry. It is much appreciated. Please make your donations to the Bank of Nova Scotia, Knutsford Boulevard, to our savings account 20941. And please remember to join us next week for our Practitioner Sunday services with Practitioner Carol Campbell. We thank you for sharing your consciousness with us this morning. Have a love-filled, peace-filled Sunday and a very enjoyable week. Thank you.